Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10X, time to level up. Hey, you are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast, coming to you from the Big Dog Construction Studio in beautiful downtown Springfield. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. Well, hey, you are listening to the Wellness Upgrade on Elevate Springfield, where we're going to bring you specific strategies to help elevate your health and wellness. Hey, if you're not elevating your health and wellness, you're not going to be able to elevate in all other areas. This is the baseline. You know I'm passionate about it, and you know that's why I brought this segment to Elevate Springfield. We want to thank our friends over at Shudokan Karate Club here in Springfield. Sensei Dennis and his team, over 50 years in the Springfield area. Traditional karate, teaching self-discipline, confidence, community. Traditional, powerful, real. That's Shudokan Karate Club here in Springfield. Check them out. ShudokanKarateSpringfield.com. We're going to get right to our guest after the break.
When I first walked into Shudokan Karate Club, I was just looking for a way to get stronger, but what I found was so much more. Here we train in traditional karate, the real stuff, passed down through generations. Every punch, every kata has purpose. I've learned self-discipline, confidence, and how to protect myself. Not just in class, but in real life. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being prepared. This is more than a club, it's a way of life. Join us at Shudokan, traditional, powerful, real. Kyleigh.
All right, and we are back for another edition of the Wellness Upgrade, brought to you by Shudokan Karate Club. Familiar face in the studio, Kyleigh Melvin from the Primitive Prairie. Kyleigh, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. We got some fun stuff to talk about, but remind everybody what you do at the Primitive Prairie.
All right. I am a board-certified natural wellness practitioner, and I specialize in clinical herbalism.
All right. Well, today's topic is antibiotics.
Yes.
So get into it.
All right. So I don't feel like it's super controversial, because I know someone last couple of years, somewhat recently, I've seen even on like MSNBC, they've talked about the World Health Organization addressing this, but there is a huge overuse of antibiotics. Rolls into what I do because people come to me with all of these symptoms, and a lot of times I say it originates in the gut, which we can address another time because that's a lot in itself. But one of the quickest ways to destroy your gut is through antibiotics. Not only that, but the reason doctors are worried about it is they're now seeing these like super bacteria that are resistant to antibiotics because they have morphed to become resistant. So from their standpoint, that's the issue. And from mine, I look at how our body functions, and I'm like, well, this is just setting us up for failure anyway. The biggest thing, though, however, is I feel like a lot of doctors, not all of them, my doctor's pretty great about this, but a lot of them will have people come to them with infections, and the way to kind of protect themselves is to make sure, hey, I gave you an antibiotic.
Right.
Because antibiotics are wonderful. They've saved hundreds of thousands of lives. They're important. They are just overused. And so what I would like to see is more doctors being hesitant and taking more of a wait and see approach. So
what are some more of the things like the overuse?
Right.
What more can that do to the body?
So maybe I'll start with an example. So I believe in pediatrics, they say most kids come in with the earache. That's like the most common thing a little kid, especially like toddlers, will come in with. They say, I believe it's by 1 year of age, most children have been on an antibiotic twice. So what that can look like, especially with a little child, is a baby. They have an acquired immune system from their mother. They have acquired this microbiome in their gut, and it is diverse because otherwise they don't have a diverse diet. So they take those antibiotics and that kind of wipes out a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be hard to rebuild in a baby. However, if you look at it from the doctor's point of view, they have to be cautious because a baby can't talk. So if a baby's tugging on their ear, they might err on the side of caution, prescribe an antibiotic and say, okay, we don't know how long they've had this infection. We don't want it spreading. The issue is that if you take them too much, I have a family member actually that is allergic to most antibiotics. That puts her in a very risky situation. That can happen from taking too many antibiotics. You will then have the symptoms, which once again, we can address another time, but gut health, that microbiome is setting up your immune system, your moods, your sleep cycles, most of your serotonin's in your gut that converts to melatonin.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're destroying your gut microbiome, this happy little ecosystem, you are just, what overuse of antibiotics looks like is never having a diverse microbiome and bacteria in your gut keeping you healthy. That's probably the worst thing from overuse, but then it's a hard thing because you have to look at doctors just trying to protect themselves. And so what I would say with this is with the wait and see approach, if you have like a 4-year-old with an ear infection, I would say give it a few days, because one of the biggest things is a lot of doctors don't tell people this, but we know antibiotics don't work on viral infections. Most ear infections are viral.
Gotcha.
I believe they say around 60%. That's not to say there's not plenty of bacterial infections, but you could also try garlic drops in the ear and give it a couple days. Nothing's going to happen in a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
Couple days, you don't see your child getting better or their fever's getting higher, then take them back in. And then you can look at an antibiotic. But I feel like there needs to be a great caution. And there also needs to be, especially with kids, parents taking the initiative to reintroduce this microbiome to them right afterwards and heal their gut immediately.
No doubt about it. Yeah, we've done the garlic thing before for the ears.
And it worked. I've even used it on my animals. So it's like, it works. It does work. So.
Are you talking about the microbiome? I've heard it likened to, like some of the other people I've listened to on the podcast, they said it's almost like when you take antibiotics, it's almost like a brush fire in your gut. It's like it clears the land almost. It's just like it clears it.
It does. And I can go on about the gut. We will do that like maybe on the next one, but because there's so much involved with that, and it does wipe it out. And all of that depends on the bacteria in your gut. It feeds certain parts of your digestive system. It protects certain parts. It sends signals. So it's very important to your gut. And the other thing, and I hear this a lot, but I'm really big on people not getting the wrong idea. I see on social media a lot of people sharing that antibiotics stay in your system for, I don't know if you've seen it. The people say antibiotics, after you have one round of them, it stays in your system for like a year. That's not true. The antibiotics don't stay in your system that long, but the effects of what they do to your whole digestive system and therefore the rest of your body does last up to a year, because it takes that long, depending on what you do afterwards, after a round of antibiotics, to fix that. So
no, absolutely. Yeah. So are there any other holistic ways you can keep the body primed?
So I say this all the time, but it's like your body is here to protect you.
Right.
Give your body a chance. A long time ago, they didn't have antibiotics. Thank goodness we have them now. But a lot of bodies would naturally fight off these infections. We'll get into immune health and gut health and really zero in on this so people can understand on a deeper level. But basically, keep your gut healthy. That's the key to keeping your body healthy, in my opinion. But I'd say the biggest thing you can do is just keep doing that wait and see approach and just giving yourself a chance. Give your body a chance to do what it's meant to do, which is take care of foreign invaders. I never want to give the wrong advice. Once again, if something's going on and you have a high fever and it's going on for a few days, definitely.
Absolutely.
They serve a purpose and it's amazing we have them. And then the next step would be, if you have to then take antibiotics, there are probiotics. Kind of leery. I don't know if you've ever looked at the back of probiotics, but a lot of times they'll just have a couple strains, whereas you could take like kefir and get way more strains in most probiotics. You also want to look at, like, if you're buying probiotics, actual colony forming units, the CFUs on them. But my go-to would actually just be eating fermented foods.
It always goes back to get the natural food, get the food that does what it's supposed to.
You would be introducing more to your body quicker if you just did it through diet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my take on that.
Absolutely. And we've talked before, I eat fermented food every day, at least a little bit, at least one serving of it.
You know, fire cider is a great option too.
Mm-hmm.
We can get into that another time, but there's stuff you can take daily. I know it's hard with kids though. So that's why I was like, I'm not ever opposed to giving a probiotic to a kid. I know it's hard to get them to eat fermented foods.
Right.
But yeah, do your due diligence in trying to recover their little bodies as quick as possible, because you'll start seeing eczema and you will start seeing, honestly, they've been doing a lot of studies on the effects of antibiotics, and it is pretty amazing what they're seeing. They're seeing kids with more allergies that were on rounds and rounds of antibiotics, asthma, become diabetic, and even via the gut-brain axis, they are seeing that there might be even some learning disabilities, issues with emotional outbursts after antibiotics. But like I said, that I can save that for gut health, but it's just such a deep idea that it's all that connected that, and like you said, brush fire. It totally is.
That's what I like in it too. I've heard multiple people say that. And it's like, well, that makes complete sense to me. Just kind of clears the land.
It does. And I mean, sometimes you need it. So it's not here saying never. It's not saying don't go to the doctor if you think you have an infection. Like, definitely take care of yourself. We're lucky to have antibiotics. Just use a little more caution with them.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, does not work on viral infections. For some reason, people will get sick and be like, I need antibiotics. I'm like, it will not work on that.
Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Yeah. So you mentioned fire cider. I was taking that last week. I had a little bit of a cold last week, but what else in fire cider, just so people know?
All right. So I have a couple, because I get sinus headaches. So I have a very strong one I call Wildfire. And that is spicy. And that has a lot of horseradish and ginger. And that one will open you right up. But I do make one called Campfire. A kid's still not going to think it tastes good, because I mean, it's hard to cover the taste of vinegar.
Yeah, no, it's going to be spicy. It's going to be a little.
It's a tonic. So when you're talking about tonics, that's something you can take like every day. And herbalists call these kitchen herbs. These are herbs that are super safe in large numbers, so you don't have to be super worried about dosage or anything. So the Campfire blend has a lot more kitchen herbs, some stuff that's just going to help with whole body inflammation. It has turmeric in it. I'm trying to remember because I have two different types. But the Campfire has like turmeric, still has ginger, so an onion. And so you just let that sit for a while. And like I said, I try to cover it with honey. I think I know which one you took. So
well, actually, the one I took, we got it out of town one day.
Oh, yeah. I know which one that is too.
Yeah. But I forgot I had it in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll take that stuff. I'm feeling a little off, so I think I'll take that.
Yeah, so your wife just got another kind to try, because I know she said she didn't like that kind. So that's why I was like, I don't know if you guys have even gotten into that bottle. But that one does taste, it has a little less bite than most of them.
Yeah.
But it's not going to taste good to kids.
No, it's just
that's
not.
another great thing you can give them. Just get it over.
Right. Yeah, I think we got that bottle when we were out of town in Moab or something.
No, I know. It's
really
the same
cool
company that makes your incense. I know where you got it. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Then I know exactly where I got it. Then it wasn't Moab, it was Jackson. Yeah, I know where I got it then.
I think, yep.
Okay, I didn't realize that was the same company. Yeah. That incense was phenomenal.
They don't make it anymore.
Right. I know. I am sad about that. That's the only incense that I've been able to use that didn't give me a headache.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, but I like it when it's a little more, a little bite to it.
Like I said, that's why I made the Wildfire, because when I had it sitting there extracting, I would open the lid just to check on it, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Right.
So I have two versions, but yeah, just kitchen herbs are super safe for kids, for people to take every day. Sometimes I'll take it twice a day, so that's a good option too. That's good for your gut.
Awesome. Well, anything else that you have that you utilize in lieu of antibiotics, or
garlic's a big one? You hear people use oregano oil a lot. It depends on where it's at. I mean, I know we talked about ear infections, and it's just because I worry about kids and that's a common thing with kids, but with adults, urinary tract infections, there's uva, ursi, there's herbs, there's different herbs for different areas of infection. So there are some options. Like I said, though, I know women get worried about UTIs because it's like, oh, I'm scared to spread to my kidneys. And so that's another thing. Luckily, we can get tests now, and you can kind of wait and see what the result of that test is. And I encourage people to do that, not just always jump to a harsh antibiotic.
Right.
So, but yeah, there's always herbal options to try. Like I said, you don't want to wait forever if it's really aggressive, but a healthy body should hopefully aid in that getting rid of the infection.
And if anybody has any questions about that, they can certainly give you a shout,
they
right?
Sure can.
Absolutely. Remind everybody where they can find you.
I am on Facebook at The Primitive Prairie, Instagram, and www.theprimitiveprairie.com.
There you go. Well, appreciate you popping in again. All things antibiotics today.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Looking forward to next time.
All right.
All right. We're going to let Kyleigh get back to elevating Springfield, but for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back. Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing expert serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing. Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hope you're enjoying these quick hits of actionable strategies here on the Wellness Upgrade on Elevate Springfield. Thank you again to Shudokan Karate Club. Hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.